Welcome back everyone to Theme 2, Myself and Others, Unit 5, Where Do You Work? This is Part 2. Remember in Part 1, let's recap just what we said in Part 1. In Part 1, we started talking about workers in our community, like the builder, or the electrician, or the plumber, or the bus driver, and we said that all of the jobs are really important in our community. So let's start this part. Let's start reading this paragraph. Do you know anyone like Laura, Talia, or Amir? Now let's start reading. 3 cousins. Laura, Talia, and Amir are cousins, but they are all very different. Of course, even your siblings are different. When Laura was a child, she loved to experiment. She was very curious. And the meaning of curious, that you like to know everything around you and you like to discover it. This is the meaning of curious. She always carried a screwdriver and she opened old radios, cell phones, and anything that had electricity. So she was curious about electric devices. She liked to open them and to see what's inside. She'd like to discover. Her favorite question was, how does it work? She learned about safety with electricity. This is Laura. When Talia was a baby, she played with blocks. She put one block on top of another. When she was older, she started making things. She made a little house for her dog and a bed for her sister's doll. She always carried a tape measure and a pencil. Well, I think she would like to be a builder one day. Amir was always very patient and he liked helping people. Sometimes big brothers can get angry at their little brothers, but Amir was never angry. He played, he helped, and he explained things all the time. Well, I think he'll be a good teacher. Let's see. Now we're going to learn about some words we have read in the last paragraph. Screwdriver. And a screwdriver is a tool that most of our workers need in their job, especially the electrician. Blocks. And the blocks is a game that all of you love, especially if you want to be an engineer or a builder one day. Tape measure. Tape measure is a tool that an engineer or a builder use in their work. Now, this picture, I will need to explain for you the word curious. When someone is curious, this means he wants to know everything around him. And their brains start asking a lot of questions, like what, where, when, why, how. This is a curious person. He needs to know everything. Now, what about this word? Patient. And patience means that you're a person who keeps trying and you're so calm, you're never angry, and you try keeping again and again and again, and you can explain something for anyone in a very low voice, and you can be so patient, talk in a calmly way. This is the meaning of patient. So now let's play a game. Guess who am I? Number 1. You need me when the fan doesn't work. Who do you think the worker we're going to call if the fan doesn't work, if there's something wrong with the electricity? Exactly, an electrician. Perfect. Number 2, you need me when you need to build a house. We need someone to build strong walls. Exactly, a builder. And the last one, you need me to understand your English lesson. You see me every day in school. That's it. I'm a teacher. So now we're going to talk about finding the number of syllables in a word. What does that mean? Look at this picture carefully. Can you see we have a pink circle around the letter E and O? E and O are vowels. Do you know how many vowels do we have? We've got 5 vowels. A, E, I, O, and U. But what does that do with the syllables? I'll tell you right now. The first step in dividing up a word is to know how many syllables the word has. Each vowel equals one syllable. So if I have one vowel in the word, this is one syllable. If I have two vowels, these are two syllables. If I have three vowels, then I have three syllables. So you can divide the word according to the syllables. We have open syllables and closed syllables. Let's watch this video together.
Welcome to Kids Academy.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris the Word Whiz. Today, I'm going to teach you how to divide words into syllables. We will look for syllables in words in order to decode or read those words. Remember that a syllable will always contain a vowel. This is helpful when we are trying to use syllables to help us figure out a word. First, let's talk about open syllables. These are syllables that end with a vowel, like tiger, and pilot. The first syllables in both of those words are open because they end with a vowel. Open syllables often have long vowel sounds. Closed syllables end with a consonant like sandwich, carpet. The first syllables in both of those words are closed because they end in a consonant. Closed syllables tend to have short vowel sounds. Let's try another one. We can see that there are two vowels in this word, separated by two consonants. So there are probably two syllables. If I divide the two syllables, pick and nick, I can see that those are both closed syllables and probably have short vowel sounds. Picnic. We can use this strategy to decode longer words as well. Let's try this one. You can see that this word has three vowels, each separated by consonants. So it has three closed syllables: bass and ket and ball. This means that the vowel sounds are probably short: bass, ket, ball. You can also check to see if you have divided the word into syllables correctly using this trick. Say the word out loud and place your hand under your chin as you say it. Bass, ket, ball. See my chin hit my hand 3 times, so this word has 3 syllables. Let me show you one more. Try it with me. Ba-na-na. 3 syllables. So the next time you come across a word that seems tricky, stop and look for syllables. See you soon.
Subscribe to our channel to stay updated on new videos. Find links to our apps in the comments below.
So now after watching the video, look and say, how many syllables are in each word of the following? Remember, the syllables are according to the vowels, exactly. So number 1, electrician. How many vowels can you see in this picture? Electrician. Exactly, 4. Let me show you how many vowels do we have. We have over here the E, and then we have another E, and then I have I and I. So when I divide this word, I will say E, So these are four vowels. Number 2, teacher. How many syllables do I have in this word? Exactly, 2 syllables. Let me show you. Teacher. So these are 2 syllables. You're doing a great job. Builder. Exactly, 2 syllables. I have over here the U and the I, and I have E. Builder. Builder. Now, architect. Architect. 3, perfect. I have the A, R, key, the I is over here, and then ticked. Plumber. Plumber. Exactly, I have 2 syllables. Pla and er. Mechanic. Perfect, 3. I have the E and the A and the I. Me-ca-nic. Dentist. That's right, 2. I have the E and the I. Dentist. The last one, doctor. Perfect, 2. Doctor. Perfect, you've done a great job. Let's start lesson 5. In lesson 5, we're going to have a lovely story also about Sharifa. My name is Sharifa. In class this week, we're going to talk about the good and bad things about different jobs. As we said, each job has a good part and a bad part. Every job has an interesting part or a difficult part. My aunt is a mail carrier in the United States. I talked to her about her job, and she told me some of the pros and cons of her job. I'll tell you later what's the meaning of pros and cons. On one hand, mail carriers are outside all day. This is great when the weather is good, but it's not fun when the weather is very hot or wet and cold. Mail carriers walk all day and get a lot of exercise. Well, that's good. They also speak to a lot of people. This is a nice part of the job. Everybody likes getting mail, so everyone likes meeting the mail carrier. On the other hand, there are also some bad things to think about. Being a mail carrier is not an easy job. The mail bag is very heavy. It can give some mail carriers a backache. Another bad thing is that they wake up very early in the morning. My aunt starts work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Now I'll explain for you the meaning of pros and cons. Pros and cons. As you can see, we have pros in a green box with a tick mark and cons in a red box with a cross mark. But what does that mean? Look at this picture carefully. We have pros in the blue part with thumb up and a tick mark, and we have cons in the pink part with thumb down and a cross mark. Everything in our life has pros and cons, a good part and a bad part, an easy part and a hard part. Pros is the advantage of each job or everything in our life, and cons is the disadvantage or the bad part in everything in our life. For example, the internet or technology overall. Pros, we can get information really easily from the internet. We can read a lot of books, we can read a lot of information, we can look for everything on the internet. But the cons, we can get some wrong information or wrong data. And this is not right for our researches, for example. These are pros and cons. Let's talk about the pros and cons of mail carrier's work or job. Remember, pros is the advantage or the good part of each job, and cons is the disadvantage or the bad part of each job. Do you still remember the pros and cons of mail carrier's job? Can anyone tell me a pros or an advantage? Exactly. Mail carriers get a lot of exercise because they walk a lot. What about another pros? Remember, there was something about meeting people? That's it. Everyone liked meeting the mail carriers. And because everyone liked to meet them, they speak to a lot of people. These are the pros of the job. What about the cons or the disadvantage? Well, they're outside all day, even if the weather is hot or wet and cold or rainy. That's really hard part. What about another con? Exactly, they wake up really early in the morning. They start their job at 6 o'clock in the morning. And there was another one that is really difficult. The mailbag is very heavy and sometimes they can get a backache. So these are the pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages. Now let's start lesson 6. Workers who made our school. So now we're going to talk about the workers who really helped us to get our school or to have a school. The builder built the school. As we said, builders build strong and safe walls. The plumber connect the pipes so that we can have water. Remember we said the plumber, someone who connect the pipes and faucets to water, or someone who can fix the bathroom if there's something wrong with the bathroom. The electrician connect electricity so that we can use the lights or the smart boards where we can watch videos in school. The cleaners keep the school clean. All of them are really working hard. The bus driver bring the children to school and they are always on time. The garbage collectors take away our garbage so they can also keep our school really clean. The mechanic fix the cars and the buses that bring the children to school. We really need to respect all of the workers and we really need to thank them for their hard work with us. So one more time, let's thank the workers who helped us made our school. The builders built the school and built strong and safe walls. The plumber connects the pipes so we can have water. The electrician connects electricity so we can use light. The cleaners keep the school clean. The bus drivers drive the children to school. The garbage collectors take away our garbage. And finally, the mechanics fix the cars and the buses that bring the children to school. Thank you so much. This is the last slide with our lesson. See you later.